Once upon a time, in a vibrant forest bursting with life, there lived a young duck named Ducky who made his home by a shimmering pond nestled between tall trees and soft mossy banks, where the water sparkled under the sun like a mirror full of secrets. Ducky was a curious little duck with glossy brown feathers that shone when the light hit them just right, his bright eyes always twinkling with wonder, and a small orange beak that wiggled when he quacked excitedly. He lived with his loving family, his mother who taught him how to paddle gracefully, his father who showed him how to dive for tasty water plants, and his two sisters who loved to splash him playfully whenever they got the chance. Every day was a delight for Ducky as he swam in circles around the pond, chased dragonflies that skimmed the surface, and listened to the cheerful songs of the birds perched in the branches above. He often dreamed of exploring beyond the pond, imagining what mysteries lay hidden in the forest's winding paths and shadowy groves. One sunny afternoon, as Ducky floated lazily on the water, the sky began to change. Soft white clouds turned gray and heavy, and a cool wind rippled across the pond, making little waves that tickled his feathers. His mother called out from the shore, "Ducky, come in, a storm's brewing." But before he could paddle back, a sudden gust of wind roared through the trees. The sky opened up with a loud crack of thunder, and rain poured down in sheets. The pond turned wild, waves crashing and swirling, and Ducky felt himself being pulled away. He flapped his wings and quacked in surprise as the current dragged him from the safety of his home. The water rushed faster, carrying him past reeds and rocks, until he was swept into a narrow stream that twisted deeper into the forest. The rain pounded against his feathers, cold and relentless, and the wind howled like a pack of wolves. Ducky tried to swim against the flow, but it was too strong, and soon he was tumbling through the water, dizzy and scared, until at last the stream spat him out onto a muddy bank far from everything he knew. He shook the water from his feathers, blinking through the rain, and looked around. The pond was gone, his family was nowhere in sight, and all he could see were towering trees, their branches swaying in the storm, and a carpet of wet leaves stretching into the distance. Ducky's heart thumped in his chest. He was lost, alone in a part of the forest he'd never seen before, but even as fear crept in, his curiosity flickered like a tiny flame. "I'll find my way back," he told himself, fluffing his feathers against the cold. "I just need to be brave." And so, with a determined waddle, he set off into the unknown. The rain began to ease as he walked, turning into a soft drizzle that pattered on the leaves above. The forest smelled of wet earth and pine, and the sound of dripping water filled the air. Ducky's webbed feet squished in the mud, leaving little prints behind him. He didn't know where he was going, but he kept moving, hoping to find something familiar. After a while, he heard a rustling in the bushes, and out scampered a small squirrel with a bushy tail and quick, darting eyes. The squirrel stopped and stared at Ducky, tilting its head. "Who are you, and what's a duck doing way out here?" it chattered. Ducky quacked softly, "I'm Ducky, and I got swept away by the storm. I'm trying to get back to my pond." The squirrel twitched its whiskers. "I'm Nutmeg, and you're a long way from any pond I know, but you look hungry. Here, have a nut." Nutmeg tossed him an acorn, which Ducky pecked at curiously. It wasn't his usual food, but it filled his tummy a little. "Thanks, Nutmeg," he said. "Do you know which way I should go?" Nutmeg scampered up a tree and peered around, then pointed with her tail. "Follow that stream over there. It winds through the forest. It might lead you somewhere familiar, but watch out, there are foxes and hawks around." Ducky nodded, grateful for the advice, and waddled toward the stream, its water glinting faintly through the trees. As he followed it, the forest grew quieter, the storm fading into a distant memory. He splashed through shallow puddles and ducked under low branches, feeling a little braver with each step. Soon, he heard a soft whimpering sound, and around a bend in the stream, he found a little rabbit hopping in circles, looking lost. The rabbit's fur was white with brown spots, and its ears drooped sadly. "Hello," Ducky quacked. "What's wrong?" The rabbit looked up, startled, then hopped closer. "I'm Hopper, and I got separated from my burrow in the storm. I don't know where I am." Ducky smiled. "I'm Ducky, and I'm lost too. Maybe we can find our way together." Hopper's ears perked up a bit. "That sounds nice. I'd like that." So the two set off side by side, Ducky waddling and Hopper hopping. They chatted as they went, Hopper telling Ducky how he loved munching on carrots from his garden, and Ducky describing the fun of swimming in the pond. It felt good to have a friend, and the forest didn't seem so big and scary anymore. But their chatter was cut short when a shadow loomed over them. A sly fox stepped out from behind a tree, its eyes glinting and its tail swishing. Well, what do we have here?" "A duck and a rabbit, perfect for a snack," it growled. Ducky and Hopper froze, their hearts racing. The fox took a step closer, baring its sharp teeth. But just then, a loud rustling came from the bushes, and out charged a tall deer with antlers that branched like a tree. "Leave them alone," the deer bellowed, lowering her head. The fox snarled but backed away, then slunk off into the shadows. Ducky and Hopper sighed in relief. "Thank you," Ducky quacked, and the deer smiled gently. "I'm Bella, and I couldn't let that fox hurt you. Where are you two headed?" Ducky explained how they were lost and trying to find their homes. Bella nodded. "I know this forest well. I'll guide you for a while. Come on." With Bella leading the way, they walked deeper into the woods, her long legs stepping gracefully over roots and rocks. She pointed out things as they went. "See that bush? It's full of berries, good to eat if you're hungry. And that tree over there has bark that squirrels love to chew." Ducky listened eagerly, soaking up every word, and Hopper nibbled on a leaf Bella showed him. The forest felt alive with lessons, and Ducky began to see it as more than just a maze of trees. As the sun dipped lower, casting golden light through the branches, Bella stopped by a big oak. "It's getting late. You should rest soon. There's a safe spot up ahead," she said, leading them to a hollow tree where the ground was dry and soft. "I'll keep watch for a bit, then I need to get back to my herd." Ducky and Hopper thanked her as she wandered off into the dusk. They wiggled into the hollow, and just as they settled in, a pair of bright eyes blinked at them from the darkness. Ducky quacked in surprise, but a calm voice hooted, "Don't be afraid. I'm Ollie, the owl who lives here. You're welcome to stay the night." Ollie was a wise old owl with feathers like moonlight and a voice that sounded like a lullaby. "Thank you, Ollie," Ducky said, and Hopper nodded sleepily. Ollie perched above them, his soft hoots filling the air, and Ducky felt his eyes grow heavy. The forest outside rustled gently, and the stars peeked through the trees opening, twinkling like tiny lanterns. He dreamed of swimming under a sky full of light, safe and warm in the hollow. When morning came, the sun filtered through the leaves, and Ollie was gone. But his kindness lingered. Ducky and Hopper stretched and stepped out, ready to keep going. The stream gurgled nearby, and they followed it again. The air smelled fresh after the rain, and birds chirped overhead. After a while, they came to a wide clearing where a beaver was busy gnawing on a stick, his flat tail slapping the ground. "Hello there," Ducky called, and the beaver looked up. "Well, hi. I'm Barney, building a dam to keep the water just right. What brings you two here?" Ducky told him about their journey, and Barney scratched his head. A pond, you say? There's one a ways downstream, but it's a trek. Want to help me with a stick or two first?" Ducky and Hopper agreed, Ducky using his beak to tug a small branch, and Hopper pushing with his paws. Barney showed them how the dam held back water to make a little pool. "See, this helps the plants grow and keeps the fish happy," he explained. Ducky liked learning about the forest's balance. It made him feel like he was part of something big. When they finished, Barney pointed downstream, "Keep going that way, and watch for landmarks." A big rock shaped like a turtle, then a patch of tall reeds. "You're close when you see those," Ducky thanked him, and they waddled on, the sun climbing higher, warming their feathers and fur. The forest buzzed with life, butterflies fluttering past, and a frog croaking from a lily pad. Ducky felt stronger now, his little adventure teaching him to notice things, the way the stream curved, the smell of wet moss, the sound of wind in the pines. Soon, he spotted a rock that looked just like a turtle, its smooth surface glinting in the light. "Hopper, look," he quacked, and Hopper hopped excitedly. "We're getting close." Beyond the rock, tall reeds swayed in the breeze, and Ducky's heart skipped a beat. He knew those reeds. They grew near his pond. He waddled faster, Hopper bouncing beside him, and then, through a gap in the trees, he saw it, the shimmering water of home. The pond stretched out before him, calm and welcoming. His mother's voice called out, "Ducky, you're back," and his father and sisters splashed toward him, quacking with joy. Hopper's family wasn't far off. Their burrow just past the reeds, and he raced to them, waving a paw at Ducky. "See you soon, friend." Ducky paddled into the pond, the water cool and familiar. His mother nuzzled him. "We were so worried. Where have you been?" Ducky grinned. "I got lost in the storm, but I met Nutmeg the squirrel who gave me a nut, Hopper the rabbit who ran with me, Bella the deer who saved us from a fox, Ollie the owl who let us sleep in his tree, and Barney the beaver who showed me the way. I learned so much, and I found my way home." His family listened, amazed, as he told his tale, the sun setting behind them, painting the sky pink and orange. The pond reflected the colors, and Ducky felt a warm glow inside. He'd been scared and lost, but he'd been brave too, and now he was back where he belonged. That night, as he floated on the water, his family tucked close, he looked up at the stars. They twinkled like the friends he'd made, lighting up the dark. He closed his eyes, the gentle lapping of the pond rocking him to sleep, dreaming of the forest and all its wonders. From then on, Ducky still loved to explore, but he never strayed too far without knowing the way back. And the forest whispered his story to the wind, a tale of a little duck who found his way home under the watchful eyes of the trees and the stars. Do you still like today's story? If you like, please remember to subscribe to this channel and click the like icon. You can receive notifications and hear the latest stories as soon as possible. Good night, my baby.